everybody, welcome back to my channel English. In today's video, we will be learning about degrees of comparison. So without further ado, let's get to the video. So, degree of comparison. Adjectives can compare two or more things. And when we make these comparisons, we use the comparative and the superlative forms. And adjectives can change in form to show comparison, and they are called degrees of comparison. There are three forms of adjectives used to show varying degrees of comparison: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. The adjective positive degree is the adjective in its simple form, like tall. Comparative degree is the higher degree of the quality than positive degree, taller. And the highest degree of the quality is superlative degree. And tallest, tall, taller, and tallest. Comparative adjectives. We use ER at the end of the words. And also we use more, less, much, a lot, and so on in the beginning of the words, which cannot be written using ER. Comparative adjectives compare one person or thing with another, and it enables us to say whether a person or thing has more or less of a particular quality. We can describe nouns by comparing them to something else. When comparing two things, we use adjectives like larger, large, larger. This is larger than that. Happier, she is happier than him. Cleverer, she is cleverer than her. More beautiful, she is more beautiful. And less expensive, it can be more expensive or less expensive. Let us take a look at the examples. The Indus River is longer than the Godavari. Here we are comparing two nouns, the Indus and the Godavari. So the Indus is longer than. London is much colder than Nepal. London is much colder. London and Nepal are nouns. Julie was so much bigger than her father. The woods by the stream are more beautiful than any garden. Sympathy is a nobler feeling than pity. He is 5 years older than me. He is a better player than George. France is a bigger country than Britain. He thinks you are better than us. Here we have used the ER form, the much, so much, and the better and the more form. Longer ends with ER, long, longer, much colder. Here cold ends with ER, but we can also use much. There's more beautiful, there's bigger, better, older, nobler, all these, better, older, nobler, bigger, better, they all end with ER. So next up is superlative adjectives. They end in EST. Comparative adjectives ended in ER, but this ends in EST. And we use most and least instead of less and instead of more and less, we use most and least. When comparing more than two things, we use superlative adjectives. And we use words and phrases like largest, larger, largest, happiest, happier, happiest, sad, sadder, saddest, most beautiful, and least interesting. We use superlative adjectives to describe a person or a thing as having more of a quality in a group. A person or a thing in a group. We use it to describe a person or a thing having a quality in a group. Let us take a look at the examples. It was the happiest day of my life. It was the happiest day. It wasn't a happy day. It was the happiest day of my entire life. Kanchenjunga is the third highest mountain in the world. Third highest in the world. Norma is the oldest and Annie is the youngest. Harry is the most intelligent boy in the school. Who is the richest woman on earth? He was the cleverest agent of all. Which is the most dangerous animal in the world? This is one of the most interesting films I've ever seen. Lead is the heaviest of all metals. Here we have used the EST forms like happiest, highest, oldest, youngest, richest, cleverest, heaviest. But we cannot use EST for intelligent, dangerous, and interesting. Instead, we use most intelligent, most dangerous, most interesting. Now, irregular comparison. So, some adjectives are compared irregularly. That is, their comparative and superlative are not formed from the positive form. And it's important to memorize the comparative and superlative as they are because we have to follow the rules. Adjective here is good or well, and the comparative form is better. Superlative is best. Bad, badly. Worse, worst. Bad, worse, worst. Far, farther, further, or the farthest and the furthest. If you use far, farther, then you have to use the farthest. If further, then the furthest. Farther and farthest is used to denote distance, but further and furthest is used to denote something additional or extra. Little, less, least. That's it for today. We shall meet again in the next video. And until then, bye.